DDPuma with my girl Rasheeda
Walace.
Yeah, and we're gonna be interviewing the very well-known King Phade.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
Everything is good.
Want to know, who are you and why are you so important for the hip-hop community to know?
I can possibly speak more about the importance. You know, as we all know, that hip hop came from New York City, and there's different lanes of hip hop. You know, you have the producers, you have the DJs, the break dancers. You know, I represent the graffiti artists, and I feel that it's time that somebody needs to be more vocal about that aspect of hip hop, because anything starts with a thought and an idea. Like when you build a building, you have to do what? You have to sketch it first.
Yeah, right.
You know, so
with the blueprint.
Yeah. So I always feel that, you know, the graffiti artists are the blueprint, and that's what I represent.
Okay. And so your background, you gotta give us a little insight on your background and how did that shape you?
My parents, I guess you could consider, were immigrants. You know, they came from Honduras and Guatemala, and they came here, you know, looking for a better life. You know, so they brought my brother here. I was obviously born in Brooklyn, New York. You know,
Brooklyn. Okay.
You know, so from there, you know, the experiences that my dad had, you know, he actually related it to me that when his first job was a company called Chock full of Nuts, which is the equivalent of Starbucks.
None of that, yes.
Right, but he worked in a black-owned establishment. It was owned by Jackie Robinson. Yeah, he was the Magic Johnson of that day, because he had multiple Chock full of Nuts, and he would hire immigrants that looked like him. You know, so one was my dad. So my dad, he remembers when he used to come in the store with the furs, and you know, so he was like, okay, this is where we're supposed to be. This is the country, you know. So
right.
My dad was able to see black entrepreneurship, you know, and I really feel that trickled down to me. You know, watching my mom's, like, she was a hustler. Like, she did all the bus rides, organized all of that to take people to go shopping, you know, stuff like that. You know, she had the hair thing going on and had her regular job, but she was doing hair in the house on Saturdays, Sundays.
Okay.
You know, so I really believe I'm a product of that.
Gotcha.
That's beautiful, and I can relate because I have immigrant parents as well. So it's a different upbringing, and it really gets me to want to know, how did you get started? What was your first, I guess, piece?
First notable piece, I mean, because I started on the subway trains in New York City, so that was...
He was down under.
Yeah, we was in the tunnels for real. And, you know, that aspect of the game was really competitive between other artists and other boroughs and stuff, and who had the best crew. You know, it was our form of, like, our crew used to break dance against each other. We would battle with art, you know, against different other teams, you know. And, you know, when I first started, I wasn't that good, you know.
We gotta grow. We have to grow.
Exactly.
So,
you know,
go from somewhere, right?
Yeah, I went to the high school of art and design, and when I got there, dudes was like, yo, you whack, you know, like, yo, you a toy. And I was like, okay. Okay. You know, but I guess that's what fueled me to top all of them, you know. And they're still up there today, but I can't say I surpassed them, but now it's a respectable level where I'm at, you know.
You see the growth. That's the most beautiful part, being able to see the growth.
Yeah.
Definitely. And now, subway art, and of course, that was, they call it subway art.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Was it being respected then? Like, you know, and you look at it now, is it still, you know, do they say, yeah, subway art is really amazing? But back then it was more like prominent, like people were really looking at who's doing what tag and all of
Yeah.
that, right? Back then.
Well, you have to take into consideration that we were outlaws.
Okay.
It was vandalism.
They call it
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know, when they took the programs out of the schools,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the music and
Art,
art,
yeah.
you know, we found our own campus.
Trains, huh? With no permit. But okay, got it.
And these were canvases that weren't confined to an art gallery. These were canvases that went from Brooklyn
To the Bronx.
all the way to 241st Street, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And people saw our work, you know?
Wow, free market. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Then they was marketing and promoting it without paying it.
No,
You know
yeah,
what?
that's a fact.
Very smart.
So my next question for you, you guys started on subways and trains and having your, you know, free marketing going.
Right.
How and why? What gave you the idea to want to put it on clothing next?
I saw the reaction. You know, one day I was coming home from school and one of my boys, as I was walking in the building, he was like, yo, that thing you be doing in the building, I saw it on the train.
Right.
And I was like, oh, you did? You know, but being an outlaw, it was like, nah, that wasn't me. He was like, come on, bro. Like, I watch you do it. You know, that was you, you know. And then he said, I saw something on the side, but I couldn't really read it, but I saw your tag on top. And I was like, wow. Okay, I was like, yeah, that was me, man, because he expressed to me, you know, he loved the colors
Right.
and everything that was going on. So I said, you know what, the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make it simple so people could read it. And once I did that, I feel like that was a hit. They loved the colors but couldn't read it. So I said, I'm gonna give them something nice and simple, you know?
Right.
And so that, you know, with that kind of reaction to people from around my way, like, yo, we really like it. I was like, man, I wonder if I could take that, peel it off that train and put it on a t-shirt, you know, with the color and
Right.
because if you like it, you just might want to buy it.
Exactly.
You know?
Income.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And it came.
Yeah. Eventually, yeah, definitely.
Got you. So your earlier influences, so when you started, but there was, I know there's someone that you were kind of maybe looking at, say, hey.
It's a couple of people, you know, my mother used to work at this printing place, and so I used to print like all the Disney posters and all kinds of stuff like that. So she would bring it home to me, you know, as a kid, and I would just stare at them. But one day she brought home this poster by a guy called Peter Max.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was kind of like that psychedelic artist, you know, with the stars and rainbows.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that real 60s, you know,
Okay.
type thing, you know. And I was really intrigued at the art. I used to stare at it, and then the Parliament Funkadelic came along. And when I opened up the album cover, you'll see like a comic book in there, and you'll see the same type of art, but it was black. It was George Clinton, you know, like they were drawing that psychedelic, you know, type style. And then when I saw that on the train, I seen like brothers trying to mimic that, you know. So you could say, you know, Peter Max was an influence just on, like, it just went well with the graffiti, you know.
Right, okay.
And then the Parliament Funkadelic, you know, their style, you know, characters, it just really went well. And then as I got older, a guy moved into my building. His name is DJ One Time. He was from Patterson Projects, and he was a Casanova. They had a crew back then called the Casanovas all over. You know, they were like former Black Spades, but they're kind of like the oh man, what's that? Those brothers that be stepping, and but they the fly guys. They blue and white.
They're like fraternity?
Yeah, fraternity.
Yeah. Q's. No, that's purple.
No,
Well, okay.
No help. I'm so
Crazy
sorry,
cats.
Paul.
Okay, five side, whatever, something. But I got
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Because we don't know what it is, we don't even need to
Right.
use that. But I'm saying the Casanovas was those kind of guys. They'll go from party to party. DJ was DJ Flash, you know, so he was the top DJ at the time.
Not Grandmaster Flash.
Grandmaster
Flash. Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah. He was part of the Casanova crew.
Oh, okay.
Casanovas would go to your hood and they'd take your girls.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Casanova. Of course. Casanova.
It made sense.
Right.
They was the fly guys, you know? So, you know, one time came out of that, came uptown to the Bronx. So he brought all this other elements that I couldn't go, I was too young.
Right.
You know, my brother, you know, had to pick and choose certain parties, you know, so they wouldn't get chased home or whatever, you know. Yeah, you just couldn't go into any area in the Bronx and like, yeah, I was at that party, you know, like, no, you wasn't, you know. a lot went with that, you know. So,
Got you.
So he was a heavy influence. He was the one that told me to go to the High School of Art and Design because he was there, he graduated. His partner, his other DJ partner, he was at Art and Design also. So they both was like, you gotta go there, you gotta take the test, you gotta go. So guys like that were my influence, you know. And then once I started actually getting busy on the trains, trying to get better, Case 2 became my main mentor. You know, he's out of a movie called Star Wars, a famous documentary called Star Wars, and he has one arm. Yeah, the kid was bad, like, for real.
Yeah, one arm.
Yeah, he taught me everything. I used to bring my moped over there. I don't know how he was doing wheelies with it. The clutches on here, and he left-handed, he would be like this.
He had a strong behind arm. He was clutching with his.
Hey, let me find out you were getting into some dangerous things.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's New York City. That's like, you know, you grow up into danger because I felt there was a lot at stake, you know. And if you came up in that era, it's like even your manhood was at stake. That's how crazy it was. Like in the streets of New York. Oh yeah. So.
And it was in the early 90s, or?
No, this is the 80s.
Oh, the 80s.
Yeah. So you know, there was a lot at stake. You had to be on some. You had to really be on some extra macho steroids. Or you was gonna get swallowed up. The city was gonna eat you up. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of details in between all of this, but I'm very interested in, you know, hearing about all of your growth now, knowing how you felt about your first pieces being not so great, and seeing the evolution of what you've become now and date. What do you feel are your most favorite or most popular pieces?
Oh, this is your top 3, right?
Your top 3. Yeah. You don't have to name it all.
Top 3.
Because there's quite a few.
I bet, right.
I mean, as far as like airbrush stuff.
Yeah, your airbrushing, mainly.
I feel like in the overall aspect, you could pick one of each, if you really want to.
Yeah. If you want to retro back maybe to the 90s, like my Belle Biv DeVoe stuff, the new edition.
Okay.
I think that's one of the top 3. We want to fast forward to like 2014, the collaboration with Supreme.
Okay.
You know, I did the Chucky shirt and I did a Benz. You know, I just recreated what I was doing as a kid. Just gave that to them. For me, it wasn't new, but for them, it was super exciting. Like oh wow, you know. And number 3 would probably be the Rico 105 for the Paid in Full movie. It's a classic.
That was with Mekhi Phifer.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, my shirt was worn in that movie, and it's an actual cult classic to wear that Rico 105. You know, they might not know what it means or who the person is. It's just what they want to know artwork. No, I mean,
who
I'm the artist who created it,
yes.
But the actual person that they emulated in the movie. You know?
Right.
Right. You know, so yeah, I think those could stand.
Got you.
Because I believe each one hit a different genre of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Rico 105, people identified it from their hustle days, you know, to actually, you know, being part of that culture that was wearing the airbrush shirts and driving the 190E Benzes and, you know, all of that stuff. You know?
Of course.
How it used to be popping.
Yes. People drive slow on 25th Street.
Yeah.
I love all day.
I think Crenshaw got that from us, man.
You think so?
Yeah, I really think so, man.
Still all love. It's still all love.
Yeah, it's still all love, you know. But it's nothing like that 125 crowd, you know. It's just everything. Like it was like a block party.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unauthorized block party.
Exactly. That part.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any obstacles? Did you ever, you know, because artists, creatives, sometimes we stop for a moment. You know, life be life. Okay. So was there any moment that you had to pause for a second, or did you just keep going? And if there was a pause, what was it, and was there like a difficult moment in your life? And you had to do
for me, you know, I once I dedicated my life to this, which was early, I never looked back.
Okay.
You know, I always felt that God allowed me to have a key, and I really sincerely feel that I had to share that. So I would meet people along the journey, and you know, kind of plant that entrepreneurial seed in them. You know, so I always knew that I was kind of like above certain kind of thinking.
Right.
You know, because even the bad things that come along, those turned into good.
Wow. Yeah.
You know,
Fade into power.
Yeah. And it just blossomed into something that I couldn't possibly see at that moment. But if you wait it out and you be like, oh, that's why that went down like that. You know, so you can't give any power to something that empowered you.
Right.
You know, I can't be like, yeah, well, this happened and this was a sad time in my life. Like, I figured out how to enjoy life as a kid, and I said, I'm gonna keep doing this shit. Like, I'm gonna keep enjoying it, you know? And then, you know, when I found out that I can sell T-shirts, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna use that just like how I was selling weed. I'm gonna do that and establish, boom, boom, boom. So I never had the time to really think about.
You just kept moving.
I just kept moving. You know, I used my older brother and the blueprints, you know, all the stuff that he used to do. And I was like, man, I could just take that product, what I have, which is artwork, you know, and
use the same system and kind
use the same system. Yeah, keep going, but teach people along the way.
Right.
You know.
And in teaching.
Yeah.
You know how to act. So teaching.
Yeah.
Now, with that, children. Do you have any kids during this time? No, these questions, baby. No, okay. No, did you have any babies that did now? Were you teaching them like, look, you're gonna be an artist like your dad? Like, how was it? You know.
I think my life's calling is to really teach everybody.
Right.
It's not like I've adopted so many people.
You have millions of kids, actually. Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
so, you know, it's not, because a lot of times, you know, your own might not accept you, you know, or want to hear what you have to say. So I wouldn't wait for that. I would go outside, and whoever's hungry,
To be a sponge in this.
yeah. I'm gonna show you how to get full. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I believe I'm here for the world. You know?
And we need you. Of course, it's the foundation of fashion. You know. Yeah. So.
Yeah, coming into that, you know, now having so much experience and being able to give so much information and teach these newcomers who are so interested in the arts, what would you say as a word of advice for someone looking to come into your field?
do not doubt your dreams. You know, a lot of times we'll get the vision and then we allow people to come in and try to interpret that for you when you already got your marching orders. You know, I always go with my first choice. If I draw something and then somebody's in the room be like, nah, you need to change this to that and that, and I'll be like, nah, you're not gonna drive me crazy. You know?
He said, don't drive me.
Because, you know, when you allow them to do that, now you're doing 30 steps to get right back to
The
that
way
same
you were already
one.
going.
They be like, you know what? That's the one. I'll be like,
Yeah, wait
You
a minute.
owe
Every
money
artist
now.
we know,
yeah.
singing this thing, doing that way. That's
Nah,
very.
you know the way it's really supposed to be, you
Right.
know, but you know, people input their input and kind of like take you on a whole
merry-go-round.
merry-go-round to get back to where you started from.
Make you
So
doubt
I-
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I try not to allow that to happen.
Got you.
Like if you don't like this, you know, I'm working with somebody now, and you know, it was like, well, can you do this? Can you do that? And I was like, no. I said, because if I start changing, it's gonna cost you. And they was like, no, we'll just go with that.
Of course, right. Yeah, you want me to go with what you, because, you know.
It's my time and it's money, you know. It's like, nah, and you're not paying that much either. Like, nah. You know?
We're not doing it.
Yeah.
And so your first, you talking about somebody you work with now, customers, clients, we're gonna call them clients, all right? So your clients, your first clients, tell us about your first clients. Like, how did that go? Because you know, you like, yeah, I can sell shirts now, like you said earlier. So you started to sell shirts, what was it like at the corner? Like, hey, I got some shirts over here, airbrushed
all
on the
that,
street.
no, all that
Or
happened.
was it?
All that happened. Like my first customer was my mom's.
Oh,
Yeah,
No,
I
that's
did
so
her.
funny.
yeah, always,
You
right?
already know. So I did like some roses on a shirt for her, and you know I blessed her with it. And it was two reasons why, right? Number one, the compressor was so damn loud, you know.
Oh, that like, look, don't, you know, don't yell at me, Mama. It's for you. This is for you. Yeah, that part.
Exactly. You know, so when I gave her the shirt, you know,
Uh-huh.
she was like, "Wow, this is really nice." You know, like she saw the vision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She saw it, so she came
Right.
back and she gave me like I think like $10-15. I was like, "What's this for?" And she was like, "Cause you're gonna have to re-up and get paint. You're gonna have to get more T-shirts."
Already teaching the babies and
Yeah,
babies.
I was
Right.
like, "Whoa!" Like,
Okay,
you know, I'm like, "All right, cool." So I
Mhm.
did exactly that. Got paint, got T-shirts, did more, and then she wore her shirt to her job, and then everybody in the job was like, "Oh, your son can do that? Oh, can he draw this car for me?"
Okay.
And so
35. 25.
Not yet.
Right?
Not yet.
Okay.
That didn't happen until I got to Harlem.
The money making man, of course.
Yeah, and it was the era that crack it just started like coming out, you know, and people considered it the rich man's high.
Right.
You know? So there was a lot of celebrities, a lot of, you know, and when I went down, my boy was selling, so he was like, "Yo, I wore the shirt down to the Connect, and he wants some shirts." And I ain't want no part of it. I was like, "Nah, I'm good, bro." I like, you know, cause I was the type that kind of also grew up reading all these books, you know, Man, Child in the Promised Land,
Right.
and Greenie Green, How to Eat to Live, you know, I was going in that area, so anything I felt like was destroying my people, I really didn't want no part of it.
Gotcha.
And you know, at the point where I could have hustled, you know, I could have continued, like I could have went into, you know, other substance, you know, I still just kept it like selling weed and stuff. I never graduated because I just knew how it was affecting people, you know. So
And anyway, I will say, selling weed, it is okay. Today, it is okay to sell some weed. So go right ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, so you know, so my boy, you know, he kept egging me on. So I eventually went down there with him, and I seen like professionals on the line. I saw like doctors, lawyers, people with attaché cases, nurses, firemen, and I was like, oh shit, it really is the rich man's high, because they was on that line. But I don't think they realized 3 months from now they weren't gonna be, they wasn't
gonna
gonna
be
be
on another
that
line.
anymore.
Right.
But it was a lot of professional people, so we went in the building. I've never seen that much money in my life. There was a little kid in there, and he was just pitching. He was throwing the money behind him, and the money was up to that gold thing. It was just a stack of money, and he was like, "Yo, I need like 10 shirts for my team." I'm looking at this little baby face gangster like,
what you?
Yeah, his name was Bad. Who knows where he's at today?
Oh boy, Bad was being bad.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So, so when he said, how much,
right,
I was like, oh shit. So I gave him a price, and he was like, yo, just stick your hand in there and take out what you stuck in, and I pulled out like 700, and I was like, okay. So that was like the first time I got hundreds for my.
And back then, it was like.
Oh, it was like pulling out 7,000.
Yeah. Gas was like maybe $1.25.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So.
Right.
So that made me say, well, okay, there's something going on in Harlem.
Right.
People are willing to pay, and they're willing to pay top dollars. And so eventually I came out on the corner. I was selling T-shirts on the corner the same way that they was doing it. I said, I'm gonna do the same thing, not knowing that I was building a path and going against the grain, because when I got to Queens, it was kind of starting over there, but I had already seen the devastation it did to the Bronx. I would come out the building, and it would be like little capsules everywhere. It would look like a whole sea of yellow,
red top, green, yeah.
Yeah, and you like coming out like, oh, yo,
what?
Crazy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like who does 300 vials of that? Like
just all over the place.
All over, everywhere, coming like like a candy coat. Like
yeah,
a candy coat,
exactly.
Yeah, so that kind of like really tripped me out, and so yeah, that's where I was at.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the next movement was Queens, and I think Queens was a little smarter,
Okay.
I feel they got along better. Where out the Bronx and Harlem, they were warring against each other at a high level, in Brooklyn. I think Queens kind of still had that hierarchy.
Gotcha.
Certain people on top, and then bomb. So it wasn't as much unless like maybe one crew felt they needed to start taking over, which began to happen, But then they was still becoming like one, even with the takeovers and stuff.
This is the drug war kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So I inserted myself in Queens, with the airbrush. And that was because of Jam Master Jay.
What's the song?
Yeah, I went to his house. I was like 17 years old, knocked on his door. He came out, and he like, yo, I like what you doing, like.
Right.
Yeah, and he told me and my boy Kashim to go to the Ave and find a store. Yep.
And you found the store.
Found the store, but I didn't need his money because I was already getting bread up
From Harlem.
From Harlem.
Harlem in the building, of course.
Exactly. So that pretty much worked out, and then I went and got my other friend from the high. We all were from the high school art and design, and I went and got Nike, and Nike was from Marcy Projects. So he kind of raised Jay-Z up, because Jay-Z lived in this building. So so Jay was a little kid, and so I've been around that whole Marcy for forever, since high school.
Got you.
So we came together like 4 years after high school, and like, yo, let's start this, this thing together. I was like, yeah, I got the idea. Like, I'm uptown getting money. This is what we need to do.
So it was 3.
Yeah, 3 of us.
3 kings. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And
we opened up Shirt Kings.
Okay. This is a good story.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
so much, so
I'm gonna have to
much.
watch this. On my menu, I'm gonna watch this. And of course, also, since we at DDP,
Oh.
and you're rocking, so of course, you know, you about style too, so of course. What you rocking right now?
I'm rocking the DDP DDPuma collection. I'm betting that this is season 2. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But, and
well, you're in the season. It's all good. No matter. Season 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's all good.
Fly.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like this is a culmination of Dap's whole heritage. You know, his the thoughts in his mind, because he was always DB and always wanted to do the DB. You know, but as we know bits and parts of his story,
right.
You know, he was able to take other brands and reshape them,
which is amazing. Yes.
For us to fit us. You know, I remember him saying, you know, somebody walked into the store with a little designer purse thing. Everybody was going crazy over it, so he was like, okay, I'm gonna take that purse and make everybody look like luggage. You know?
Right. Hey, everybody's looking like luggage. Lord, with the holes, you know?
Exactly, you know? Like, oh, you like that bag? Okay.
You can wear it. Exactly. Give me 1 second. Right.
Yeah, so that has been a great mentor to me, you know? I had established a spot here across the street from the Apollo.
Okay.
Mark 125.
Yes, remember that space.
Yeah, and so I came with the whole hype from Queens and everything, so we were, you know, making money. Everybody was coming around, so, you know, Dap came up and was like, now I'm hearing about your name, you know, and I was like, shoot, you know who you are?
Exactly, like with me.
Yeah. So he was like, you know, we serve the same customers, you know, the same people that come to me go to him, vice versa. And they're telling him, like, you know about Shirt Kings? Like, they're here in Harlem now. So he personally came to visit me.
Really?
I was with him, but it was
cool. I meet this man.
Yeah, he came up and he was like, how much rent you paying here? So I told him, and he was like, he said, man, you know what? He said, let's walk down to my store. Let me show it to you. And we walked down to 125th and 5th Avenue, across the street from La Familia. You know, I think it's a furniture store now. He took me in there. I seen the operation, what was going on. He was like, he said, we serve the same customers. Like, if we come together, it's gonna be powerful. And I closed up.
I know, that's right. He's like, listen, y'all get no more rent from me, no more time block.
Yeah. I mean, I should have kept the spot from the Apollo and let somebody run it.
It's okay.
Know? But this is that Dan we talking about.
You close, it's all right, close shop.
Yeah, I close shop up, you know?
Yeah.
And I've been, you know, with him ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. And today is 2023, still rocking DD.
Yes.
With the P.
Yes.
Okay now.
Dapper Dan Phade. I mean, Dapper Dan Puma.
Oh, call it now, Dapper. Wait a minute. DDF coming. Oh, DDF. Oh, Phade with P. Yeah. Another. But no, that's great. This is like amazing.
Phade, so I have another 2 questions for you, and before I guess we wrap it up, right? What are you working on right now, and where do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
Definitely working on a lot of top secret projects.
Can't spill all. You can't spill all.
Yeah, but I'm doing something with ASAP Rocky right now, you know, and he's also, you know, he's part of the family also.
Another style king, of course.
Dap has been mentoring him, you know, for a while. Him and Ferg, and pretty much helping guiding their career.
Right.
Me, I'm more of a, like, when Ferg is in LA, he'll come over and come get a peace of mind, and we'll just sit there and create. We'll create, because he's an artist too. You know?
Visual.
Visual, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he
You
paints.
didn't know.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Right.
Yeah, his dad was actually my first business partner, Darryl Ferg, D Ferg, and he had a brand called 54,
Okay.
54 D Ferg from 143rd Street. He was actually my first partner, and he's the one that actually told me to go out to Queens and go find Kashim at night.
Wow.
You know, because Daryl had his thing going. He was doing shirts too. I was doing shirts.
Right.
We collabed for a minute, but we're so much alike. So he was like, "You need to go find your partner."
Right. Because I want you what I do, you gonna do what you do. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like they say, it can only be one king. You know, so yeah. So I ended up going out to Queens and finding the other two. You know, three kings. Yep.
I love it. And y'all still close.
Yeah, we still close.
Love it.
But the full circle is, you know, me and Ferg, you know, we're like, you know, I'm Uncle Phade to Ferg, you know. Rocky is like, oh, they're Uncle Phade, you know. Like, yeah. So we keep
That's
it
beautiful.
in the family. We help each other, you know. Projects come across, they make the boardroom consider me, you know. Especially if they're trying to do something that I've already done or try to mimic my style. And like, nah, we got to call it
Originator.
Yeah, you know?
Right.
Right. The one that created the recipe. Shoot.
You can't change it. You can't change the recipe now. Throwing some extra stuff to the flour. No.
No flour at all.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so those are some big projects. We can't spill all, but moving forward, where do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
The next couple of years, more global. You know, I'm working with the National Museum of Ghana in Accra.
Wow.
So I should be going there in December, but we started a dialogue. They want to do a build out, a Shirt King build out in the museum.
Wow.
You know, from Ghana to the world, basically. You know.
You hit Ghana, you hitting the world right there. Everybody's going there.
Phade worldwide.
That is
So that's what I'd like to hear.
I should be doing something with a brand called Free the Youth. They're out of Ghana. You know, and they're a pretty big brand.
I think I've heard of them actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Joey is a real intelligent guy. You know, for real.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and I'm working with another brother. He's out of Gambia, but he lives in London. You know, and he has a brand called Faces and Places. So I'm working with him also. I met him in Japan, and we just clicked. You know, and his brand is really popping. Like he started out as a photographer, and people were like, "You need to put those pictures on T-shirts." And 2 years later, he's doing runway stuff in Paris and all kind of stuff, right? You know, yeah. So now it's going more global and connecting with young brothers that got the same kind of passion, you know, because it's not about age, it's about your drive.
Exactly. That part.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see, well, hopefully, and I do see some runway
Yeah, definitely.
projects coming
Yeah.
with Phade
Yeah.
King over here.
Yeah.
Sir King. Okay, because I mean, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, and showrooms and all that good stuff.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, I work
Put
with
on the
another
show.
brand. I work with another brand on Barriers also.
Barriers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barriers. They figured out a way to sell hoodies that are tasteful, you know, and a lot of ball players are wearing, you know, Barriers. A lot of recording artists. If you look at that video, everybody's singing the song. Brian Messi, right? Brian.
Okay. You sing for us then. Go ahead.
I'm like the worst.
We're gonna have him singing. Now we got
this
Phade
kind of
Sir
like
King
the
singing.
hottest song of the summer right now, and Burna Boy got on it.
Okay, I'm looking at everybody else, but I don't know. But okay, we'll get to that. We'll play it during the break.
Well,
Barriers
I'm in the studio
he's
too
wearing
much.
Barriers stuff.
Okay.
He's in Jamaica wearing Barriers stuff, so
Oh,
this kid
Jamaica.
is going global. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. he's going global, and I work real close with Barriers.
Oh, okay. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Any?
Awesome. I guess we can figure out where can we get more from Phade. Where can people go to hear from you, your updates? Where can they purchase?
Um, First of all, I just got back from Japan, right?
Okay.
And did a collaboration with Extra Large. They started out as a skateboard streetwear brand in
Nice.
LA, but it was always owned Japanese owned.
Okay.
So I did 2 collaborations with them, and the recent one was more they wanted to showcase my photos, sell the book, because I do have a book out called Shirt Kings, Pioneers of Hip Hop Fashion.
Wait, one more time. Say it for the people in the back.
Oh, Shirt Kings, Pioneers of Hip Hop Fashion.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's done with a couple of graffiti artists from Sweden who had a publishing company.
Nice.
I believe that's probably the first book that 5 graffiti artists got together and created, something tangible for the world,
Ah, love it.
And Japan, so we had the photos, we had the book, and then we did clothing combination.
Okay.
Yeah. So not everything pretty much like moved too.
Nice. Have you done anything yet with the AI and original art with it? What do we call that again? The AI.
Yeah, digital art. Like
Yeah. Art.
I tried like in 2014.
Okay.
I met this
Oh,
young
you
kid
ahead.
from DC.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And he was like, "This is the future. You need to get down with it." He broke down what crypto was to me, and he even put $1 in. And I was like, "Yeah, all right, whatever." But then years later, when he got famous, I actually went to that account and saw like $700 in there. I was like, "Wait a minute, this kid wasn't playing here for $1."
Really?
But he was like, "I'm putting you in, whether you like it or not."
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he was already doing digital art, and he was like, I was like, "Yeah, you sound stupid. Ain't nobody gonna buy no digital stuff." Like, he was like, "Let me show you." So he did a couple of things for me that I still have, and here it is already. It's 2014. It's already 9 years later.
Right.
Now all of that is popping.
Got you.
Yeah, I got NFTs ready to go.
Okay. There it is. That was
The
for NFTs.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the market to be, But with documentaries and all of that, you can end up creating your own market with that.
Got you. Okay. I love it. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this because listen, I gotta put on my shirt, Phade shirt. I gotta put that on. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We'll get out of this, sneakers on, and all that. Probably wear a little DDP as well. But
we'll do some shopping. We see some cute things in here.
Exactly. But no, definitely it was great learning the history of course, Phade, the Shirt King. And, girl, you did your thing. Listen, this one over here, okay? You did your thing.
Everybody doing their thing.
Everybody do exactly. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, your website, they can just find you all online and let them know what that is again. So then,
Yes, we're gonna just insert it here somewhere in the video.
Right, yes,
for you
all
guys
that.
to see.
Miss Van, what do you call it? Right. She's like,
It's somewhere here.
Follow,
you'll find it
whatever.
Follow King Phade. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed this interview and stay tuned for more.
Peace.